heard it today, and that's researcher bias. And we need a little statement in there about researcher bias, because you are so ensconced in the areas of fraternity life. And you referenced, oh, well, I've just had so many casual conversations about this. That's not in your research. And that's when I saw, there's that researcher bias coming in, because you're finding things that you didn't really find, because you're drawing on some personal knowledge. So we need to make sure that that's not influencing that. On being specific about professional practice, I have had several conversations with Zach about being too prescriptive. You should do this, and so in pulling back there, he probably has now overcorrected to too general. But going back and being specific without direction, without prescription, should do this, that tied specifically to the data, that's an easy thing to go back and state. I also, thinking of the language, and I got caught up in your perceptions. It became my perceptions too, that, oh, well, these are their perceptions, so these are the causes, and they're not, the research doesn't find them as causes or as, but influencers and perceptions. Perhaps influencers. We don't even know for sure they are influencers.
No.
We just know the perceptions. And I think the title change is going to be really good in smoothing it on through the rest of the narrative. So those are my comments now, based on and responding to and hearing what your committee members have said. And yes, I think we just got all excited about the data, and we just wanted everything in there.
Well, it's easier to take stuff out than it is to
Absolutely, absolutely. And
one more comment about that implication. When you write your research, you need to separate yourself from being an employee at a specific institution to a scholar for the field of higher education. So when you rewrite your implication, try not to think yourself as an employee of commerce. Try not to write your implication for your institution. Think about when you go to a conference, what people would like to hear. What do you think you can give them to take back to their institution and can help them? Okay, so as a researcher, your responsibility is not just to your institution, but to the field. So you didn't talk about any policy implication. But if you can write some policy implication, practical implication into your study, I think that will be even better.
And as we're talking about that chapter again, that you're going to be working on 5, one of the things that might help you add more to that is to go back to your theoretical framework and think about that in relationship. Okay, now how does this tie to the theoretical framework? So that'll give you some more things to talk about and implications, and it kind of shores up what you can say without getting overly prescriptive. It's not from you, it's from, this is what we know, this is my theory, and this is how these findings tie to my theory.
additional comments or questions? Zach? No?
Taking it on.
All right then, I think that we need to ask our guests and Zach to step out for a few minutes.